Fair use is a doctrine in law of the United States that permits limited use of copyrighted material without having to first acquire permission from the copyright holder. Fair use is of the limitations to copyright intended to balance the interests of copyright holders with the public interest in wider distribution and use of creative works by allowing certain limited use that might otherwise be considered infringement. Examples of fair use in United States copyright law include commentary, search engines, criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarship. Fair use provides for the legal and licensed citation or incorporation of copyrighted material in another author's work under a 4-factor test.
Mine's already been replaced with balloon.
Okay. Also, my wife is a fucking freak for Christmas, so.
Did you see my Christmas tree? Oh.
I totally want to mention that I clicked the button to make everybody go live. So, we'll let everybody just try and think about what we were talking about there. Welcome everybody to episode number 98. How is everybody doing tonight?
God damn, you dropped that on me so hard.
I thought that'd be funny. Episode number 98. We are, before I introduce the panel, Dr. Tom would like to take a moment and address with everyone why he has only half of his Christmas tree.
Go to hell. Go right to hell. Do not. Okay. All right. Fine. Fuck you. Fine.
Tell us all.
My wife has an angel tree topper that comes with a strand of lights that's a few feet long. That. All right. I'm gonna dick with my camera for a second. So that's how tall the tree actually is.
Right.
Okay.
And the light strand accompanying the angel would have covered the rest of the tree, so we decorated accordingly and then could not find her angel. It's really stupid. That's all.
Excellent. All right, well, tonight we are joined...
If you were decorating your tree, why would you put the lights last?
Wait, what?
Why would you put the lights last?
We didn't. No, we put the lights first.
What you see there is just what's left of Christmas. It's like...
It was everything but the angel.
Oh,
it's like a Christmas carcass.
You stopped halfway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Tonight we are joined by our good friend Lolly. Lolly, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you? I just ate dinner.
Excellent. I'm doing fine. I'm excited to have you here. We met at TwitchCon. It was kind of fun. Like we technically met like a week before, completely randomly when I dropped into your stream.
You did.
And then like a week later, we're sharing an Uber together on our way to the con, which was like I know, I was just like, that's fucking really strange. Twitch is such a big place. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But and triumphantly returning after a break from all of the holidays, we have Dr. Tom.
Hell yeah.
Actual Dr. Tom. So everybody who's joining for the first time, we have some legitimate credentials on this show. Some.
Don't. You liar.
He would never lie to you.
Exactly.
He would never commit such a heinous act.
And then returning again, I always welcome Tim. How's that preparation for your fishing streams going?
Slowly. And when I say slowly, I mean you can't get slower.
I'm really gonna push you on that because I think it's hilarious. So, in case no one knows, his username on Twitch is Journeyman Baiter, and if he was to be the Journeyman Baiter forever, he could, do his amazing fishing streams until he once becomes the master.
Indeed.
But yeah, let me take a second and say, Merlin and Griffin, welcome to the show. Witless, welcome to the show. TSR official access. Now, I want to know, is it actually official access from TSR? Because if so, welcome. I am humbled to be in your appearance, or to be in your presence. I was raised on your games. Anyway, but tonight we have amazing tales of people making absolutely terrible decisions, and we have the ramifications of what happens when you make such stupid decisions. And then sprinkled inside of it, we have hilarious stories
also
about,
known as my life.
right? I'm saying, man, you've got nothing on at least 2 of these stories.
You don't know my life.
Yes, he does.
Exactly.
Like a fair chunk.
You only know what I show you.
Oh my God, you
We
nerd.
hang out all the time. All right. If you're interested in supporting the show, you can always throw bits. You can always subscribe, that type of stuff. But if you do not want to put anything financially into the ring, you can click this link right here that the man in black has just put into the chat. And that is a Twitter pre-formatted tweet that will just tell everybody that you're watching the show right now, and maybe your Twitter followers will come watch the show with us, which is always more fun. Oh, there we go. TSR is short for the tagline, The Soulless Raven. Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm still very happy to have you here. Our breaking news show, Double What, welcome. Glad to see you here.
Which one, Double What? There's 3 of them.
Right? TSR Official Access, welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world at one follow at a time. I appreciate that follow very much. We do have our breaking news show coming, and I said it was... crap. I forgot what date. I didn't write it down.
You're right. You did say it was crap.
Yep.
I believe you said it was the 18th?
Of next month. Or of this month.
Maybe it wasn't the 18th. Maybe it was the 17th.
Right. Anyway, I will go look that up. We'll just skip past this. For those of you who don't know what it is, we have a show where we do this show live from a destruction room, and then everybody everybody who shows up smashes a bunch of stuff, and inside of the stuff, if they find a news story, they have to read it to the crowd, and it works out really well. The other show that I'm still working on is still in production. I think I have a wizard. I think he's really skittish. No. But like an actual guy who thinks that he is a magician, wizard of some sort, capable of casting spells. And the Let's Assume show will be a show where at the beginning of the discussion, I will just seed the fact that he is a wizard. He, for all intents and purposes of the conversation, he will be a wizard, and I will not argue with him about being a wizard. But we will discuss the social ramifications, the scientific ramifications, the economic ramifications of him being a wizard. So I think that's going to be fun.
About being a wizard?
What's that?
Can I argue with him about being a wizard?
I mean, sure.
I cast fist.
Other people could do
Just
whatever they want.
My first thought is if call lightning exists, why the fuck do we have electricity problems?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have enough wizards. Duh.
Right. Also,
We're just not nice enough.
Fair.
would his spell slots be better used on create food and having a buffet store? Right? Like, is that where you make your money? Like,
So the reason he's not using call lightning to grant electricity to the United States is he's actually doing it in a third world country currently, providing them with electricity where they would otherwise have none, therefore being much more of a philanthropist.
Yeah, guys, there's only like
Fair
5 or 10 wizards every generation. They can't be everywhere at the same time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're a finite resource. Those resources must be marshaled with great care.
Randolph the Blue. All right, everybody. We're gonna pop into the news. Here we go. Oh no! Play the thing. Don't skip past it. What are you doing here? But still best $5 I ever spent.
Jamilia's the mob.
Right?
Yeah. It's from the same podcast, dude.
I haven't heard that. What the fuck kind of name is that?
All right. Have either of you, or any of you, ever heard of Vitapause or Vitarose?
Nope.
Okay. So
I don't believe in fake drugs.
these are real drugs, man. These are like the whole thing. This is like medicine and shit. But this is a tale of them it being used incorrectly. A woman has suffered chemical injuries after she mistakenly was prescribed erectile dysfunction cream for dry eye. according to a report.
Oh.
Yeah.
How?
Well,
Wait, say again?
a woman has suffered chemical injuries after she was mistakenly prescribed erectile dysfunction cream for her dry eye. An unnamed patient from Glasgow was treated in A&E after she used Vitarose instead of Vitapause to treat her problem. And the BMJ Case Medical Reports Journal has said she was given antibiotics, lubricants, and steroids after she suffered blurred vision and lid swelling as a result of using the wrong cream.
I was gonna ask if she had any swelling.
Right? So, for those of you...
Damn, son.
Margaret, thank you very much for that 9-month subscription. I appreciate that very much. Damn, son. But Vitarose and Vitapause are one letter off. Can you guys think of how that would happen?
Doctor's handwriting suck.
Yeah.
Exactly. The what? Go ahead.
However, the pharmacist who filled the prescription
Yeah.
should know that they're
Yep.
handing out. So, should know that they're handing out a male enhancement cream for erectile dysfunction to a woman. Therefore, there might be something wrong.
Yep. And especially on a new med, like the farm tech filling that out. If anybody doesn't know, my wife works in a pharmacy as a pharmacy technician.
Mm-hmm.
The farm tech absolutely, like, it's standard to call for a consult.
Mhm.
And the pharmacist, like, absolutely, the pharmacist should have caught that. There were multiple layers of fuck up.
Right.
There's no excuse for that one. If anything,
Yeah.
they should have double checked with the lady
Right.
at the counter. Like, hey,
Yeah.
did you mean to get this? I've had them
Yeah.
do that to me at the pharmacy. Did
Yeah,
you
it's
mean
like,
to get this
Out
prescription?
of curiosity,
Really
what are you
want
getting
boner
this
gel?
cream for?
Yeah, why are you getting boner cream?
And it's not even like, oh, well, she's picking up
Like-
for her husband because it was
Yeah.
to her.
Right.
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 Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, this is all sorts of preventable.
The where did it go? Dr. Magdalena Eddington said that prescribing errors are common and medication with similar names and packaging increase the risk. However, it is unusual in this case that no individual, including the patient, general practitioner, or dispensing pharmacist, questioned erectile dysfunction cream being prescribed to a female patient with ocular application instructions. So, the instructions still said apply to eye.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is why I'm of the opinion that doctors' pharmacy orders, the scripts need to be typed.
Yeah, we should really and nobody should be walking around with a piece of paper as a prescription. There should be it should just be sent wherever it needs to go.
Yeah.
We
I mean, they already have stamps for their signature, so.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I go to the doctor every now and then, like if I get sick or need an antibiotic or something, and if they try to give me a paper prescription, I say, no, please just fax it to the pharmacy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the quick care places do give you printed prescriptions.
Mhm.
I got printed ones from the quick care places.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's the quick care places. They've got stuff to do. They don't have time to be chasing down fax numbers and stuff. But you know, I get it.
Yep.
But I mean, we're moving to the point of where all of this will be digital eventually. So some of this will go away, but not all of it. It'll definitely still be kind of an issue.
Yeah, we have machines that can make a 3D rendering of your brain,
Right.
but we still haven't figured out word processing.
Oh.
Thanks for that. All right. Our next tale is a tale of assassination. A Long Island man, Matthew Burke, is thought that a bottle of wine had gone bad on September 6th when he took a sip and spat it out. The next day, his 4-year-old son told a babysitter, Mommy put something in Daddy's drink. Prosecutors then say that his estranged wife, Renee Burke, broke into his apartment at least 3 more occasions and put antifreeze into the bottles of wine and soda, as was reported. She was
Wow.
Yeah.
She
Holy
was
shit.
determined.
Yep.
Damn.
She was
Like,
indicted on.
I will say.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Not
I
that
was gonna say.
determination in life.
Right.
I was gonna say A for effort. A for
No,
us.
Even
not A for
creativity.
F
I mean,
for effort.
M for murder.
You're
F
just
for
using.
execution.
Right.
You're just F across the board. You're trying to kill somebody, and you're putting a very, very flavorful additive to something they're drinking. If you're gonna try and poison
Well,
somebody,
you know-
you gotta use poison that doesn't taste like antifreeze.
She heard she heard the thing that it tastes sweet to animals, so she just assumed it did to humans
Right.
too. So it would blend in with the wine.
It's like a Slurpee.
Right.
No, delicious, extra sweet wine that is like a lot thicker now somehow.
Exactly.
Maybe if you put it in a Riesling that's already super sweet, but you're only putting that in red wine.
She was indicted on Thursday on charges of attempted murder, attempted assault, burglary, and endangering the welfare of a child. Because after Burke contacted the police on September 10th, they advised him to install surveillance cameras. They then captured Renee Burke, this time accompanied by the couple's 8-year-old daughter, pouring pink liquid into a wine bottle in his kitchen. Matthew Burke had full custody of both children, and Renee Burke had temporary visitation rights. Police say that her internet search history had queries like, "What liquids for cars can kill a human?" And in this extremely troubling case, it's not only disturbing that the defendant attempted to murder her estranged husband, but that she did so in the presence of her children.
My first question is, why do you even have to Google that? Every liquid from a car will kill a human. Just take your pick.
So
Oh
but
my
here's the problem. She put in
Victim.
what liquid from a car will kill a human. That would have been a go if she had just left out 3 words and just did what liquid will kill a human.
Right? I mean,
Don't get me wrong. I probably should stop telling people how to poison people. But
Yeah, I may have just Googled how best to kill people with poisons that don't taste like anything.
There you
Can
go.
we just not Google things and common sense? I don't know. Go pick up the warning label of a bleach bottle and read. It says don't drink.
right?
Maybe this will kill somebody.
I was gonna say, disclaimer, I love my wife very much and I don't want to kill her.
Covering your ass there, I see. Are you guys all familiar?
Delete the VOD.
Right? Are you guys familiar? Fusion 323, welcome to the show. You walked into the discussion of how to of a woman failing
let's get
to accomplish murder. Luckily for Mr. Matthew Burke. But are you guys familiar with the current controversies? And I say controversies just because it's only controversial to some people who want to make it a controversy. But the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez controversies with the dancing and the
No, it's so
No.
dumb.
right.
Explain. Please.
So recently on her Instagram from college, there was a video that was found of her dancing on a rooftop, and it's super innocent. If you're a college student and you got a video of yourself dancing and your shirt's on, it's okay. Like,
It's like the middle of the day and is so wholesome.
it's so wholesome. It's ridiculously wholesome, but apparently she shouldn't be dancing, and some people lost their beans about it. And then she retorted with a Twitter video recently of her dancing again while working as a
I love her.
as a congressperson,
It's
right?
so cool.
Yeah. So after all of that came by, a new image has surfaced that is apparently supposed to be a nude of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Now, I have blurred everything that matters. And I have cut this thing down, so this is completely Twitch appropriate. There's nothing. This is just a picture of some feet in a bathtub. And if you see in the middle of the screen, at the top, there is a blurred section. Apparently, in the original image, you would have been able to see a reflection of lewd imagery. And so this started popping up all over the internet, and it's being passed off as a nude of the Congresswoman, but it has been debunked by r/foot fetish.
Oh, I'm not even surprised. That's great.
On Sunday, someone posted a photo of a woman's legs and feet in a bathtub on one of Reddit's most popular forums, r/drama. The post was titled, and I'm going to edit this title for appropriateness on Twitch, Mommy's Fun Bags on the Faucet.
I think I saw that. I'm subbed to that.
Yeah. With a photo of the feet in the bathtub for the photographer's point of view, holding a vape pen. Overlaid on the photo is the text Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.instagram.post.9-3-2016. The image and text aren't new. They've been around in this combination for at least a month. Originally posted on Twitter and 4chan's /Paul. As well as a handful of other subreddits and forums, including some dedicated to revenge porn and creep shots. The conceit here is that if you zoom in on the faucet reflection, you can see the photographer's breasts, and if you were to imagine that the image would be Ocasio-Cortez, that could be an issue. Although...
So
many people believed it right off the bat, and I mean, in the locations where it was originally posted. But we know for sure, thanks to a user on a site called WikiFeet, which is a site devoted to foot fetish photos and of celebrities and public figures, that there's a small collection of Ocasio-Cortez feet on that site, from photos of public appearances where she's wearing sandals or open-toed shoes. The user that debunked this cross-referenced photos from r/drama with the images of Ocasio-Cortez's feet posted on WikiFeet and determined that they are from different people. The quote here is from the person who did the debunking, and he said, or they said, "I've sucked enough toes in my life to recognize something doesn't look right."
Holy shit!
You know, I am gonna go out and say, except for a podiatrist, I'm probably gonna trust him more than any other expert.
I feel like the hands would have been a lot easier to compare, and it's right there.
But I mean,
So
Does
stupid.
she even vape?
right.
Why do we
Oh
go
my
directly
God.
for the feet?
Well, Ollie, this may not be the hero that we want, but it's the hero that we deserve.
I'm okay with it. I'm not upset. I'm not angry.
Well, it also would have been very simple to find photos of Ocasio-Cortez
Mhm.
on or around September 3rd of 2016 and check to see if she has gold nail polish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super simple.
Oh yeah.
Contributor, Reddit
or
commenter
even
jokes. Oh, go ahead, sir.
even blue toenail polish.
Right. Reddit user Jokes on You commented on the post, "I'm a contributor to WikiFeet, and I've never even seen a second toe like that." They then linked to a known photo of Ocasio-Cortez's feet, and implied that the feet in r/drama couldn't possibly be belonging to her. And the photo, as well as the feet, actually belong to Sydney Leathers, which is a political activist and cam model who may be recalled from Anthony Weiner's sexting investigation in 2016. Leathers confirmed in a Twitter direct message to the original photo that the original photograph does in fact belong to her and features her feet. That pic is a few years old and now reaffirms my current stance of no longer posting feet pics unless dudes pay me for it, Leathers has said.
What a saga.
I mean,
Right?
It's a great time to be alive, guys.
Yes.
Great time.
I thought 2019 might be less wild than 2018.
No, it's shaping up to be pretty awesome.
This is the beginning.
Right?
It's literally the 8th.
I know.
What were you talking about? It was
Buckle in.
last episode we were talking about, humanity being able to crush our opinions of it, and how many times per show can we have it do that?
Right.
All right, starting with Dr. Tom. Dr. Tom and chat, feel free to weigh in on this. Have you ever debunked anything, like seriously taken something and like torn it apart in order to like derail a point or something like that? Just any.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
Do you have a good example of something that you debunked? Like, did you ever do any photo
my favorite was
manipulation or?
This was maybe a year ago. So, 17-ish years after 17, I think. Yeah, 17 years after the incident, I was arguing with a 9/11 truther. Verbatim, jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Right.
And just about pissed myself. I love there's a video of it's a dude who's a blacksmith who takes a steel rebar. Takes a bar of rebar and like is hitting it with hammers and trying to bend it and stuff, and then fires up a blowtorch, torches it for about 10 minutes, and then takes his pinky and goes and bends it without any problem.
Right. How about you, Lolly? You ever debunked anything?
More like got really frustrated at how everybody seemed to see how healthy e-fuel was, and I decided to go a little bit deeper.
So
how healthy was it?
Well, for those of
G-fuel.
you, for those of you who both Tim and Dr. Tom were there at the when we did the first breaking news, and I brought all that G Fuel. And I told you guys
I fucking hate G-fuel.
Yeah, I told you guys it had Alzheimer's medication in it. Lolly is the one who taught me all of the things about G Fuel.
Yes.
But I had already bought it, so damn if I wasn't going to use it. Like,
I thought you were saying E-fuel, not G-fuel.
No, G-fuel.
Yeah.
Yep. I will always take an opportunity to bash G-fuel. You're not organic.
Right.
Stop it.
All right, how about you, Tim?
No specifics come to mind, but there's been many times where I've basically caught somebody in a flat out lie who's telling a story to a group, and I've been able to just immediately fact check them right there.
Right.
No, that's not what happened. This is what happened, and here's the proof. Therefore, making them look like a complete moron.
Right.
But I don't have any specifics off the top of my head.
Okay. I, as a hobby, like to do photo unmanipulation. I like to go to different forums where they're using manipulated photos in order to try to prove things, and then take specific tools online to just, and I don't even like try and fight it. I just take a photo and then make a post afterwards that's like, here's all of the unmanipulated data on this photo. Done, and then just walk away from it, because it's like setting a fire in a community that of people who are crazy and then walking away from it. Like,
oh my gosh, have you ever done that in our ghost pictures?
No, I'm gonna have to go.
Do it there, people. It's like you're gonna want to open up a Pitchfork Emporium for that.
Excellent.
Great.
One of my favorite things to do on setting fire to something is find a YouTube video that's just completely innocuous, like a kitten playing with a ball or chasing a laser pointer, and in the comments just type fake. And seeing the number of people afterwards are like, how can it be fake? You don't know what you... Yeah.
No, if you want to really get bored one day, go into the Facebook groups for the anti-vaccinations and just ask them to provide you with proof.
Yep.
Right.
That's all. Just ask for an article.
I was recently
Anything.
watching a video that was just a bunch of compilation of just random Reddit threads, and what you're talking about right there. There was a conversation between a couple of people, and somebody was talking about vaccinations, and said how they're all are all dangerous or whatever, and one person just said, "Send me one study, just one," and then the person comes back with, "Government controls the internet. I can't find what I'm looking for."
Reminds me of one of my favorite jokes, which is you get in a serious conversation with somebody, and you just come out with, "I would never vaccinate my children. It's dangerous, unethical, and wrong."
Mm-hmm.
There's doctors that are trained for that.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's a new Oregon law. It is now legal in Oregon to scoop dead animals off of the highway for dinner.
Huh?
Oh, that's been a thing here. Welcome.
Right. Drivers who turn the state's deer and elk into roadkill can now harvest them for food as a result of a new law. Went into effect on New Year's Day.
I didn't know that was against the law.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had
it was made against the law a while ago because people were intentionally hitting animals.
Yeah.
With a car?
It was called
You
road
damaged your
hunting.
car!
Yeah.
When you've got an old '78 Ford truck that's made of steel, not really.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go out of our way to hit a deer with our. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It seems way more appropriate.
It was
What?
it was referred to as road hunting, and people were actually modifying their vehicles in order to maximize the use of the vehicle in order to bag more deer and elk than your tags would allow, because you have to.
Would they mount lances on it?
No, like the brush guards that you see on the front of police cars.
Yeah.
They would make really, really stout brush guards to go on the front of their truck.
Right.
I like my lances idea.
Whitlis just brought up there are special bumpers designed specifically for road hunting. Yeah, exactly.
See, where I'm from, they have whistles they put on the front of their cars to drive them away
Right.
as they drive by.
Yeah.
Not the opposite. Are you kidding me?
Spray paint your car with camo.
They'll never see me now.
Exactly.
Oh my god. For
So-
once, it's not in the South.
PETA, the
Oh god.
People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, on its website has mentioned that eating roadkill is healthier for the consumer than meat-laden products with antibiotics, hormones, and growth stimulants, as most meat available today is. The state has... Go ahead.
I would be curious over whether or not that's correct, considering when you hit an animal with your vehicle, they not only get flooded with adrenaline, therefore making the meat not awesome, but if you rupture an internal organ, such as the spleen or stomach or whatever, that can taint all of the tissue next to it.
Well, I mean, you can look at this from every level, and it's wrong from every level. It's wrong from medical level.
Right.
It's wrong from a biological level, from a germ level, taste level. It's just wrong. Our bodies aren't designed to handle untreated meat anymore. We go out and we hunt, but we still cook it. Yeah, it's the same, but with what you said, with introducing foreign elements of dirt, mud, tires, whatever's picked up. I mean, there's just...
Yeah. And when you blender all the innards a little bit with blunt force trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
For all of the
Oh,
Oregonians...
and then rabies. We all like how rabies tastes, right?
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
And as far as I know, deer and elk are like the last natural bastion in the universe for Black Plague. So...
Really?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Huh.
Wait,
I thought squirrels were on that too.
yeah, that might be true. That might be true.
So I do know the Black Plague is actually not that big a deal.
not.
There are like 13 cases of plague in the United States every year.
Right.
And they just a simple dose of antibiotics and you're fine.
Right, but it's still not cool bragging rights to say I got the Black
True.
Plague when I scraped a deer off of the road.
Or is it, though?
Right.
Yeah.
But for any Oregon
I got
watchers,
the Black Plague and I survived. Clickbait right there.
right
For the rest of your life.
on
literally.
the next drama alert. But for any Oregonians watching, before you head out to attempt to get your own raccoon souffle, you need to know that there are 9 rules to this new law. One is eat at your own risk. Any person who salvages a deer or elk will consume the meat at their own risk. So checking condition for chronic wasting disease is a thing you have to do. The state does not perform game meat inspections for any deer or elk salvaged, which deer and elk are the only things on the list now that it is legal to scrape.
What was a possum?
Exactly. Remove the you have to remove the carcass from the road yourself, including the gut piles, and they must be removed from the road and right away. You cannot sell the meat. Sale of any part of a salvaged animal is prohibited. I love the fact that the salvaged animal is now a term.
Right.
Right. But transfer to another person will be allowed with written records similar to transferring game meat. The salvaged animal is only for consumption. Intentionally hitting a deer or elk to eat it remains unlawful. But I mean, I don't know how they're going to prove that. Deer and elk only. It applies to deer and elk, not other animals. For information about what to do about other animals, you have to go to the state's roadkill page. Head and antlers have to be turned in. And the head of all salvaged animals will need to be surrendered to an Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife office within 5 days of taking possession of the salvaged carcass. And
Fair
only
enough.
the driver can salvage an animal that has been put down.
Huh.
Well,
So, like,
yeah.
if I hit a moose or an elk or whatever,
Right.
does that mean I couldn't get somebody that obviously is a lot stronger than me to move it?
Nope.
So if you're
Well, it's
driving
staying
home with
there.
grandma and she hits a deer, tell her to put her big granny panties
Back into it. Come on, Grandma. Come on, live with your legs.
Also, there is a permit. Anyone who salvages a roadkill or elk must complete a free online permit within 24 hours to provide information, including the name, contact information, and when the where and when the salvage occurred. And finally, the state is not liable. The state of Oregon is not liable for any loss or damage arising from the recovery, possession, use, transport, or consumption of deer or elk that have been salvaged. So
So
Yeah, that makes
essentially,
sense.
what they've done is they've added make people not want to do it.
Right.
Because now they have to do all this extra shit.
Yeah. You can do it legally, but it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yep. I am interested on if this is going to increase or decrease the rate of, roadkill instances.
Right.
You're literally a state full of stoners.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to do all that shit.
Oh, no. We are a valley full of stoners and then a state full of hicks.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, all of the
It was only in Portland.
right. The stoners roll downhill into the Willamette Valley, all the way from Eugene, all the way through Portland. But then when you start to get past where it requires effort to actually get out of the valley, that's where you start finding the fucking
I hear banjo music.
exactly.
Faster.
Oh.
All right. Did you guys get the joke from that one though? The joke
What?
from this time.
The rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see it before.
All right. This next story, a man who shot himself in the foot in southern Tangerang, Banton, has been charged for possession of an illegal firearm. Ade Rihan, 19, reportedly made up a story that he was shot with a gun. Later, the South Tangerang police discovered that he had shot himself under the influence of alcohol and has now been charged for possession of an illegal gun. He was admitted to the Sari Asi Hospital in Kledug on the last day of 2018 to receive treatment for a foot wound. He said that he had been shot by someone, prompting the hospital to file a police report. Police launched an investigation into the scene on I'm going to mess this one up. On Yil Raya Bentaro, and questioned witnesses. None of the witnesses noticed a fight around the scene at the time, and police delved into the case, and it was discovered he had shot himself with a shoddily homemade firearm. Criminal Investigation Unit head Alexander Yorhiko said that Ade, or his name is Ade, it's either Ade or Ade, one of the two, shot himself under the influence of alcohol. He and his friends were gathered to drink, and he wanted to show off his homemade gun, but instead ended up shooting his own foot. He has been charged under emergency law number 12/1951 with possession of an illegal firearm, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison.
How do you spell dummy?
Right.
A-D-E.
Right.
ADE?
That's the kid's name.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, like, go ahead.
No, I just.
Yeah, this
It's just
fucking
stupid.
dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it's just dumb. On one hand, though, can we just agree that maybe shooting yourself in the foot is appropriate punishment for having a legal firearm?
Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah, the jail time for the false police report and shit, but you shot yourself in the foot, literally.
yeah. If he gets a slap on the wrist for this, he still learned his lesson.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I'm not
But he
sure
might
did.
be that dumb.
I'm with him.
Right.
He did shoot himself in the foot.
I will put it this way. He either learned his lesson or he didn't, and criminal prosecution will not change that. He either learned his lesson, therefore you don't need to do anything, or he didn't learn his lesson, and anything you do won't make it stick.
Well,
Yep.
anything you do from there is further safety for the people around him.
That's true.
Right. All right. Our next tale involves a Phoenix woman who is accused of stalking a man that she met on a dating site.
I believe it.
I heard this one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Jacqueline Ades, A-D-E-S. This is, I mean, the same name with an S at the end of
Dummies.
it. Yep. Sent a man more than 159,000 text messages, some of which were threatening, over the course of nearly 10 months, according to police records that the Arizona Republic obtained via public records records. This breaks down.
War with me or I'll kill you.
Right. This breaks down to 530 texts a day, or
Oh my god.
with an average of a 30-day month. The two went on one date.
Wow.
It must have been a really good date.
That's
Right?
I don't think thirsty can quite describe it.
Exactly. The man, whose name has not been released, just hold on a second. Merlin says that, oh no, that's where I live. Merlin, watch out. You're going to get your texts blown up. The man, whose name has not been released, called police after he found that AIDS had been parked outside of his home in July of 2017. Paradise Valley officers escorted her off the property, and that's when the police say that AIDS began threatening the man. One text read, "I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks out of your hand bones."
Wow.
Inventive, if nothing else.
Yeah, I gotta give her props for creativity.
Right? Creativity is a top thing, man.
Well, yes and no. Hand bones are actually really short. You're not gonna do a very good job of making
I
chopsticks out
feel
of
like
those.
she thought like from like here to here was one bone.
Yeah, like maybe the ulna and the radius could be made into chopsticks. But
Yeah.
Right. But, okay, in a jailhouse interview, AIDS said that she met the man on Luxy, an online dating service that caters to millionaires, the Arizona Republic reported. In a
that
police...
explains a lot.
Yeah. In a police interview, she
What?
seemed to understand the man didn't want to be with her. It's okay if that's how he feels. Somebody else should love him as much as he has so much to love. He's so cute. I can't believe I scared him. AIDS was first reported to the police when they found her parked outside the homes in the suburbs. Soon after the incident, she allegedly began sending threatening texts to the Paradise Valley man. She was reported at the residence in December. The police didn't find her there, according to the records. The victim was out of the country when she allegedly broke into his house, but he saw her through his home surveillance video and called police. Officers found her taking a bath and arrested her. She was charged with trespassing and released, but allegedly continued texting the victim with threatening messages. AIDS,
What the fuck?
right?
Wait, did you say she was in his?
Yeah. Broke into his
Yeah,
house.
broke
and-
into his house.
Literally recreated the Selena Gomez music video for "Hands to Myself."
Yes.
She literally recreated that bitch. Selena, what you doing?
All right. She's Serena Gomez is an enabler.
Right.
Have you seen the video? That's literally what it does. She stalks the guy, a famous movie actor. She breaks into his house. She touches all of his shit. She puts on his clothes. She takes a bath in his bathtub. Wears his cologne, and then he shows up, and the police are called.
She's just like,
But at the end of the music video, it shows that they're actually together. Oh, maybe she
Right.
thought, I don't know.
Finally, AIDS was found outside of the victim's business in nearby Scottsdale, claiming to be his wife, and was then removed by that city's police.
what?
When Paradise Valley police found out about the incident, they looked for her and took her into custody without incident. Merlin says she a gold digger.
Oh.
No, she a crazy person.
Right.
Fucking fun.
There was
If
no
she was a
Talk
gold
about
digger,
when we say
texting
people
like-
refer to TV as reality.
right.
As what?
She said she's who we were talking about when we say people like to see TV as reality.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no mention on whether or not Cheetos were involved with the bath.
Oh, okay.
Several times, many times, in fact, throughout our 98 episodes on this show, we have noticed this very strange trend when people break into other people's houses and take baths in their stuff, which is an occurrence that happens all the fucking time. There's often Cheetos involved, and it's like it's just this weird thing that I'm always on the lookout for now, like just trying to find out if there's like a
Find those
weird
Cheetos.
cult, right? Like
Do you think maybe it's a weird product placement ad for Cheetos?
Cheetos is like
Cheetos is taking out advertising space in people's bathtubs.
right.
But with all the random vlogging today, you never
Yeah,
know.
it's very possible. This could all just be a
Oh,
stunt.
God.
Listen,
Distended Coma,
we'll
welcome
pay
to the
you
stream.
for an advertising gimmick, but here's the thing. You're going to have to break into somebody's house and take a bath.
Right.
Are you willing to
Exactly.
break the law to help us advertise our product?
Can I stalk him for 10 months first?
Like, are you willing to break into your ex's house for like $10,000? Like, come on.
Can I get a lifestyle?
Yes, but only if you let me put antifreeze in his wine.
Exactly. Vinoath, welcome to the show. All right. How about you, Lolly? We'll start with you this time. Ever used an online dating site?
I have before, yes.
Ever? Did it turn out all right? Was it awful? Did you get abducted?
I didn't get abducted. Nothing happened from it. There was really nothing interesting from it. It was
Right.
not.
How about you, Tim? Anyway.
Basically, same story. Yeah, I've used one, but nothing ever came of it.
Gotcha.
You have like your 5-minute conversations, and then by then you can usually tell if it's what
Yeah.
the other person wants to talk to, and you just move on. You're just like, no, I'm done.
How about you, Dr. Tom?
I have not.
Hmm.
I met Joy Marie entirely by luck through Humans vs. Zombies at Oregon State.
Right. Witless says, I have my Tinder. It's useless. Vinoath says Tinder for the winder. And Witless Wonder says, I deleted Grindr after the 5th unimpressive dingle pic. Myself, I have never used an online dating site for me. Though...
Oh, right. Oh, you bastard.
4 to 5 separate times I have used, and this is, I mean, not bad things, but I have taken and created profiles for friends of mine. 2 of them are married now to the people that I hooked up because of it. Yes.
Dude, nice.
Like,
Do a dating show. Come on now.
Yeah,
That's
I
legit
totally could.
dope as fuck.
I totally could.
Matchmaking on Twitch.
Actually, I do have a good dating app story once you're done.
No, go
I
ahead.
thought you were gonna tell the story about how you and 2 other friends
Right.
played a elaborate prank.
We've done that. I've told that story before. And that wasn't a dating site. That was us using Facebook to pretend to catfish one of our friends. But
Oh my god, you asshole!
MySpace. That was MySpace at the time. It was a bajillion years
Oh,
ago.
that's even better.
Right?
So it was like 40 years ago.
Yes. But no, I've used I think it was OkCupid, and my roommate, he was like super down about the fact that he was never going to be able to talk to a woman because he was a like fucking spineless, nerd. Like, he just was unwilling to, take a leap to talk to anybody. So I made an OkCupid account and then talked to a couple of girls for him for a while, and then at one point said, "You've got a date." And then he had a date, and then she came over, and I had pretended to be a really good friend of mine for a long time, and it worked out. And
Do they both know about this?
yes, he was upfront about it. Like, he couldn't.
That is good.
Yes.
What was her reaction?
She was a little bit weirded out about it at the beginning, and he said,
Yeah.
It's just like he was pressing the buttons and typing for me and then telling me about everything, and I was just like, yeah, no, he a good dude. And then I walked out and left, and then by the time I came back, they were already hella farther along than I thought that they should be by that point. But
So apparently he has trouble approaching girls, but no problem sealing the deal.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna get all the awkward small talk out of the way, then what the fuck is there to talk about?
Right? You just
no.
had to get him in motion, and then momentum was able to carry him.
I mean,
Right.
it doesn't matter that he doesn't know anything about her, as long as she knows everything about him.
Exactly. The other 2 times that I used it to impersonate my friends, one did not work out well. One, my friend was very mad about it, but also he was a fucking moron. And then the other guy, he fucked it up real good. And then the other successful one was, I mean, like, all I did was set everything up and say, you have a profile on this now. And then he was all like, oh, cool. And then he went forward and ended up getting a girlfriend for years. So, and now they're married. So 2 of them are married.
It's pretty dope.
Willis says that is the best explanation of why one night stands works for me. Lolly. All right. Thank you very much for that laugh. I appreciate it. All right, here is our first really, really, really bad decision.
I saw this on Reddit too.
Excellent. So don't give away who this is yet, Lolly. But Tom and Tim, do you guys know who this is?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Serena Archibald III.
Okay, it's pretty close. A would-be mugger in Rio de Janeiro clearly also wasn't aware of who this was when he attempted to pick her out of a small crowd as a proper target for robbery. The robber had a cardboard gun, and yeah,
Those are the best guns. They shoot cardboard.
Exactly. Was attempting to steal her phone on a Rio street on Saturday night. According to the victim, the man's decision resulted in a police escort to the emergency room. When he found out that when the mugger found out that this is Poliana Viana. I'm wondering what the boo's for. You gotta give me the boo. What's that about, Vinuath? Was it the cardboard gun? But this is Poliana Viana, 115-pound UFC fighter with a 10-2 MMA record.
All right.
Knock that motherfucker out.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. The man's decision resulted in a police escort to the emergency room. She told MMA Junkie that he initially asked for the time before declaring that he had a gun and demanded her cell phone. Oh, Vinuath said it was for the cardboard gun. There was a delay. That's fine. According to Vienna, the man's... oh, wait, hold on. He was really close to me, and so I thought, if it is a gun, he won't have time to draw it. So I stood up, I threw 2 punches and a kick. He fell, and then I caught him in a rear naked choke. Then I sat him down on the same place where we were before and says, now we'll wait for police. According to Sherdog, the rear naked choke is a popular finishing move for Viana, resulting in a pair of her professional submission victories. I was fine because he didn't even react afterwards. Since he took the punches very quickly, I think he was scared. He didn't react anymore, and he told me to let him go. And I said, we're just going to wait for the police. And then he said, okay, call the police. Because he was scared, and he was scared that I was going to beat him up more. Right?
That's so good.
But yeah, is that what you had heard earlier, Lolly?
Yeah, that's like the most sweetest form of instant regret and immediate justice like ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's bug this person. Oh no, she's a UFC fighter.
Oh
Right.
no, she punched out all of my blood.
Well, this reminds me of there was a story in the UK about 2 guys that went out on the town in drag, like
Right.
high heels, women's clothing, wigs, but
They were
very
on their
poorly
way
done.
to a
Obviously.
costume party.
Oh, were they?
Yep, I know exactly the story you're talking about.
Okay. But yeah, they get jumped on the street by 2
Hooligans.
intolerant people.
Right.
But it turns out that the 2 guys on the way to the party were amateur UFC fighters
Right.
and just beat the piss out of the intolerant guys.
Fucking good.
That is one of my favorite things ever. It's so satisfying.
Well, the thing that I like about it is that the UK media, as well as a lot of their talk shows and comedy panels, applauded these guys up and down
Right.
about it.
Right.
Damn Skippy.
I don't know if I actually said it because my brain is in too many different places, but Dracula Art, welcome to the show. All right. Our next story I have titled Shit Eating Grin. And there is a bunny.
Yeah, rabbits eat their own poop.
Right?
Is this a bunny eating poop?
Yes.
Bunny!
If a
Good
rabbit
job,
is
buddy.
going to grow healthy and strong, then it has to put the work in, and that means a dedication to eating its own feces. A new study has been put out by scientists at the Henan Agricultural University in China, led by Ming Li. Then they have found that rabbits' consumption of soft feces considerably aids in digestion and helps rabbits gain weight and strength.
Gains.
2 rabbits, what time?
Gains.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Gotta get them sick gains.
Exactly. To test
Like
the
a protein
nutritional
shake.
impact on eating their own feces, which is called cacotrophy or cacotophy. Oh man, I'm messing this one up. CAECO trophy. Cacotrophy?
Yeah, cake
Yeah.
trophy sounds right.
Yeah.
Oh god, this sounds like you're just eating cake.
Yep.
No. No.
The team raised 2 groups of New Zealand white. The control group was fed normally, and the second was were fitted with conical collars, which allowed them to access food and drink, but prevented them from eating and from engaging in cacotrophy. After a 90-day period, 12 rabbits were studied. After dissection, the team found that the body weight, food intake, and growth rate of the experimental group of rabbits was significantly decreased. So, if you have a bunny, make sure it eats its own poop.
Why was there a study done on this?
Science.
Yeah.
I get it. But
No,
I feel like they're gonna.
I think the best
Why
answer
was
is really
this
science.
necessary?
Knowledge for knowledge's sake.
I-
Well, okay. Trying to actually rationalize this, I figure
No, I want
if
to
you have
rationalize it.
Right?
well, like if you have rabbit farmers, like if you have people who farm, like actually, an old upstairs neighbor of mine, bred rabbits for meat,
Right.
and I
That's
could
like-
imagine
this is
that she
something
would
that
want to know
rabbit
stuff like that.
farmers would have picked up on their own through years of studying
So-
and breeding rabbits. They'll notice hey, these get fatter and these don't.
Right.
I
We
did a
already
little
know
bit of
this.
research while
Yeah.
we've been talking. How did you say it was spelled?
Okay. All right. CAECO trophy.
Cecotrophy.
Seco trophy. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. But I remember as a young lad, I had a couple of rabbits as pets, and they used to live in a cage that allowed their poop to fall to a level below, and that means that they couldn't get to it, which means I was starving my bunnies of their rightful
You bastard.
yeah, their sweet gains.
I'm calling
Right.
PETA.
Right? And now I feel bad for the bunny that I cleverly named Rabbi.
Can you just imagine PETA starts getting tweets now? Hey PETA, my friend's rabbit isn't eating its own shit.
Right?
Right? You should picket their house and, be a
Break it.
terrorist like you're wont to do.
Exactly.
Break it and give it an antifreeze.
Let the bunny eat the poop. All right, our second story of poor decisions. A man tried to kidnap a woman by forcing her into his car in North Charlotte, North Carolina. She managed to break free and ran by to a nearby school to plead for help. It was reported that the man then encountered one of the teachers at the school, and he attempted to push his way past the teacher to be able to get to this woman that he was dead set on abducting. Next thing he knew, he was this line
Hospital!
down here, this line here was that he was taken to the hospital with various injuries. There is no word on the point on his condition at this point. The big
the teacher was also an MMA fighter.
This was the Bushikin Karate School in
Why? Why?
Yeah, as soon as I saw the picture, even with the blurred out sign, I knew, that's a martial arts school, and someone just got their ass destroyed.
There was
my God.
There was a class of a bunch of students. They were all, doing their karate school time. It was and in the evening, she ran inside to where she saw lights and people moving around, and the instructor stopped her when she got to the door, and when the man came in, he said something about my wife or something like that, and she said, "I don't know who this guy is. He's trying to shove me in a car." And that was when the instructor leapt into action after the guy attempted to push and strike the instructor.
So
he defended himself, and when a karate instructor defends himself, that means he whoops the shit out of you.
So I'm pretty sure the karate instructor did one thing before defending himself, which was turning to his class and saying, "Now pay attention. This is how you beat the shit out of a crap. Take notes. There will be a test later."
Now, class, if anybody asks, he came at me first.
Right?
You guys saw him push me, right? You guys saw him push me? Sweet. Lesson commence.
But like I said, this was a bad decision. He made a very poor choice when he decided, I'm going to chase her into the karate school.
Why would you even do that? You see what building they run to. You look up. It's a karate school.
Like,
Come,
right.
they won't see me.
The only
They're not
worst,
gonna.
right? The only worst sign I could imagine above that door is police station. Like,
I was gonna say, like-
possibly a self-defense school
right?
or
I was gonna say,
a
like,
gun
a
store.
gym.
Gun store. I was gonna say like Navy SEAL training camp.
Right.
Right.
So there's a couple of worse decisions this person could have made, but not very many.
Not many.
Oh,
Tim, are you trained in any of the arts of killing?
Depends on your definition of killing.
What I mean is, did you ever take any martial arts?
Martial arts, I took like a month when I was like 6.
Right. Which, of course, you remember to this day.
Yeah, every single bit of it.
How about you, Dr. Tom? Are you classically trained in the art of murder?
no, but I would love to be.
We
I've
should-
never took any, but I've always kind of wanted to.
We should do it.
I just gotta, yeah, I gotta get off my head, get it done.
How about you, Lolly? Are you martial arts trained?
No.
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 I figured you'd at least be like a 1st or 2nd degree black belt.
No, I have a gun though.
You know what?
She trained in shotgun rate.
Exactly. Excellent. All right, Chad, if you guys are trained in martial arts, feel free to mention that in the chat, and we will know not to fuck with you. Witless says, find a place and I'll teach you guys self-defense I learned on stream. Hell yeah.
That'd be pretty dope.
And Alabama Sheriff's Office is warning people against eating chicken that tumbled onto a rural highway after a truck wreck.
But roadkill is legal now.
Right? I can't imagine a more Alabama story.
It's chicken though. They complain if it's been out at the grocery store for 30 seconds over. They're gonna go pick it up off the ground outside over 24
Hey, it's
hours
free.
and eat.
What are you gonna do?
Right? An
Time to
18-wheeler
begin.
an 18-wheeler that crashed on Alabama 35 on Sunday spilled boxes of chicken tenders in Cherokee County, Cherokee County, all near the Georgia line. Motorists then began stopping to pick up the food, which authorities say have created a traffic hazard. The Cherokee County Emergency Management Agency posted a notice on its Facebook page asking people to quit picking up the chicken. The notice says that the food isn't safe to eat after hours on the ground. The post also says that the situation is creating a traffic hazard and it's a crime to block traffic. Violators could be facing charges. The sheriff's office says that a wrecker crew is on the way to the scene Monday to clean up the mess.
I do have to wonder, after they posted this, how many more people showed up.
Right? Wait, there's chicken?
Wait, there's chicken tenders? Let's go, Ma!
I do wonder why it took them that long to get it cleaned up.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Just leave it, guys. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's fine.
I like how
Have you heard of a push broom?
literally
We
a
can
guy
trust the
standing out
public
there
to not
saying,
know.
stop it.
Hey, no, somebody reaches it, whap, bats their hand. No.
No,
Did
no
I-
tenders for you.
Hire a single Alabama grandma to like stand out
Right.
there with like a spatula, right? No.
Whap!
Ain't nobody gonna want to
Goddamn
make her
kids.
angry, you know?
Your little fly swatter too.
Exactly.
Hungry.
Oh my god.
An infinite supply of slippers to take off and throw at people. Dracula says that they know some kung fu, just a little, and Witless says, "I'm surprised the birds didn't clean up the chicken attendees within 24 hours."
Well, that'd be cannibalism.
Right?
Birds don't care.
Right.
Also, it's not cannibal. I don't think it's cannibalism unless other chickens eat it.
Bird. Species.
Authorities, I just messed that word up real bad. Authorities.
Sure did.
I tried to combine authorities and Zambia into the same word for some reason, but authorities.
Authorambia?
Exactly. Authorities in Zambia have ordered a local manufacturer to stop the production and distribution of an energy drink that is reportedly causing prolonged erections.
Get you some.
I mean, all they gotta do is rebrand it. That's all they have to do.
Right?
Is
Energy
rebrand
drink.
it.
Not only
Drink 9,000.
not only do you get the downstairs effects, but you get the energy to go that extra mile for the missus.
Oh my God.
All they have to do is rebrand.
Yep. Or
See,
just put a
perfect.
little little bubble on the side that says 100% extra power boner or something like that. Just
Yeah.
The move comes after a Uganda National Drug Authority said that in a letter dated on the 28th of December, it had tested samples from a bottle of the Natural Power SX after a customer complained of constant sweating and an erection that lasted nearly 6 hours.
Oh my God.
Mr. Grizzly, welcome to the show.
Did he go to the hospital after 4? Or
Well, in Uganda, I don't know if they have those commercials. I don't know.
Who doesn't know that joke? Come on.
Right.
Didn't we have a story where a dude accidentally took like 80 pills of Viagra worth of boner juice at one point by accident?
Why?
Oh, the red guy eye?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah!
Or red eye guy?
He was taking supplements that were just pure amounts of the active ingredient in Viagra, and he was taking 80 times the recommended dose because he figured that would be the best way to definitely solve his problem. And instead of solving his problem, it bleached his eyes red and permanently changed the way he sees color.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Right?
So, I'm still not seeing a downside here.
Right? The NDA has said that the drink contained sildenafil citrate, which is used to treat erectile dysfunction. The drink is manufactured by Revan Zambia Limited, a company located in Nadola in the north of the country. The company's general manager, Vikas Kapoor, told the BBC Newsday program that the best of his knowledge, the energy drink does not contain any drugs. In a joint statement, the Zambia Medicines Regulatory Authority said that they had instituted investigations in the matter and will be releasing the findings to the public. The outcome of this investigation will be communicated to the public as soon as the results are released, and authorities are impounding the drink in Uganda.
It's times like this you're grateful for our FDA.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that would have ended up happening with one of our energy drinks. Mr. Grizzly, welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. Appreciate that follow. But yeah, we're gonna move on to a story about a hobo.
I have so many questions about what's going on in this picture.
Police in Northern California are looking for a woman that they say bit a jogger after the victim pepper sprayed the suspect's dog, fending off an attack in a park on Castro Valley on Thursday. The unusual assault took place at 10:30 a.m. at the Anthony Chabot Regional Park in the East Bay Regional Park District Police Department has said in a written statement. A woman was jogging through the park when she was attacked by a dog. The jogger used pepper spray to defend herself against the animal. Then the owner of the dog approached the jogger a short time later, and the assailant tackled and punched the victim multiple times. As the victim attempted to push the assailant off her, she was then bitten on her forearm by the female, causing significant wounds. Police have released a photo of the suspect taken from behind and her dogs in hope of generating leads.
Lol.
That
cool
bite
art.
mark itself just looks
Now the
dirty.
victim loses all of their money on full moons.
Right? I woke up last night and I just had this real bad craving for Mad Dog 2020. Why did I wake up smelling like salt and urine?
Oh my
Mr. Grizzly says usual assault. The fuck? What kind of assaults are going on over there? I guess maybe I misspoke, but it's an unusual assault. That was yeah. But yeah, and now the guy loses all of his money on a full moon, right? Dackle says. All right. We'll start with Tim this time. Tim, do you have a hobo wait, no, we started with you last time. Dr. Tom, do you have a hobo story?
No, not all I can think of.
Right. How about you, Lolly? Do you have any hobo stories?
Yeah, I have this really bad habit. If I have cash on me and I see somebody at a corner and I'm driving, I'm probably going to give them money.
Well, I mean,
I
your choice.
can't not. I've also gone and bought them food instead.
Yeah.
Because where I live, it gets really hot, so I would go and get them water and stuff. So.
Right. Now, where I am often giving any hobo that I see that has a dog, I will go buy dog food and then just drop it off with them.
I've done that. I've bought animal pet food before.
What about you, Tim?
So here in town, I used to visit a bar a lot where there was what we lovingly referred to as phobos that sat out on the street in front of all of the bars on the street,
right?
Begging for money. And after a while, you got real sick of them coming up and trying to bum a cigarette or asking for money. But then I realized I could start playing with that, and I started making them do tasks to get money.
Right.
And dumb, stupid tasks, like do a handstand for 10 seconds. If you can do that, I'll give you $5. Or climb to the top of that pole and sing "I'm a Little Teapot" at the top of your lungs. Just little stupid stuff like that. And it was strange how all of a sudden they didn't need money.
Right. No, it's easy around where we live to tell who is an actual person who is homeless and needs something versus the phobos, because the phobos don't even they've got brand new shoes and stuff like that, because when they're tired of doing what they're doing, they just go home for a day or three and then come back out. But Airnob says, is organized beggars also a thing in the U.S. where beggars get ripped off by some syndicate? No. Not as far as I know.
What?
Yeah,
that sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Witless Wonder says, one guy I often see begging for money, also money to buy cigs, tried following me home at one point, and I actually pulled my knife to scare him away outside where Dr. Tom used to live. Crazy.
Yeah.
Dracul Art says, in Brazil, we never know if it's a hobo or a thug, so we just avoid them. Goodness. But the ones with dogs are usually cool. My story.
Tom, were you aware that there's a crazy guy that used to walk in front of your house with a knife?
Oh.
Witless Wonder used to walk in front of your house with a knife.
Witless is cool.
Yeah, I know. But my hobo story, is that I used to have a symbiotic relationship with a pack of hobos. So,
yeah.
What the fuck? That is such a you thing to say, I swear to God.
We used to have the party house about 12 to 13 years ago, and we would throw these enormous rager parties every Friday. Every Friday. We would walk across the street to the corner store, which was less than a block away, and we would buy every single case of PBR that they had. So
generally all of their tall boys as well.
Yeah. And I mean, we were bringing home 200 to 300 cans every weekend. Jesus. And then we would tear through all of them and just leave them on the ground outside our house wherever we were. In the morning.
Throw them behind you. Fuck it.
Yep. In the morning, even the extra trash on the ground was cleaned up. Because the symbiotic pack of hobos who cleaned my house every Friday would take care of it. They'd get to leave with a significant amount of money, right?
That's
That's genius.
Yeah.
Well, one of the great parts about it is they'd pick up all of the cans, and like Udo was saying, I want to reiterate this, they would pick up other garbage too. It was like they're going, wow, these guys are giving us a ton of money, let's clean up for them.
Yep.
That's
That
pretty
lasted
goddamn dumb.
for like a year and a half until we moved away, basically. That was what ended it. Other than that,
I bet they were sad.
yeah, probably. Because everybody else, like, either would take their cans and put them somewhere or whatever. We knew that our mysterious hobo strangers were going to come through and fix this. There was one morning where I wasn't feeling well, and I was up in the morning, and I went out on my porch to have a cigarette, and I saw the hobos cleaning. It was like, have you ever seen like any of those post-apocalyptic movies where people are wandering around with like hoods on and like they're like wandering, picking through the remains of the planet? It was like that, and I swear I startled them. They're all like, one of the night creatures is out in the morning. What are we doing? And I was just like, hey, what's up? And then I just sat there and had my cigarette and then went back inside, and everything was fine. And that was like the time that we had our unspoken truce, right? We acknowledged each other's existence and then moved on. Mr. Grizzly, our Witless Wonder says, when I walk home from 3 in the morning, I sure as hell am going to keep a knife on me. Witless also says, I got a 1-inch blade I wear on my neck for the exact reason of intimidation. Mr. Grizzly says, I've had people send dogs on me when I was really little. Like I was maybe 4 if that was in a red van. I'll never forget. I lived in a small town, and this red van stopped in the street and sent their dogs after me. Luckily, I was Usain Bolt as a child. Oh, Jeebus.
I'm sorry, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. I'm glad you were Usain Bolt as a child.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's awesome that you're fast as fuck.
Airknob says, so Cindy Roma, I don't know how you say it that in English, basically Romagna and some stuff. People make a deal with a group of people, they give them food and shelter, and they beg for money and look actually homeless because they pretty much are under that condition. And the money goes back to the group, which is not a communistic we all beg together, but a rip off the homeless people thing. And you can't tell them from the people that beg for themselves. So in Germany, you never know. Wow.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's hella
That
fucked
is
up.
fucked up.
And Mr. Grizzly says, other than that, on some real shit, we got a knife pulled on us at a drive-thru at a McDonald's. Excellent.
Jesus.
Wait.
Wow.
That would suck.
All right. So here's the warning I gave everybody before the show. I'm going to give everybody in the chat this warning too. You're about to see something that is very creepy. We're going to watch this video.
I saw Tim for a second.
Yep. He wasn't.
Oh, I saw this. I'm on Reddit a lot, guys.
Right.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
I didn't watch it though.
Wait, which? Stop that! Don't you lick that!
Exactly.
Stop it.
Dude. What are you doing? No,
Stop it! No!
Dude, too long! Tom, I do not need sound effects.
We are now.
Wait, hold on. If you're gonna do ASMR, you gotta do it right. That's what he's doing.
Oh god!
All right. So that was halfway through the video. We're gonna go past this.
I got the noises. And just,
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
A man was caught on surveillance licking a doorbell of a home in California. If that wasn't odd enough, he did it for 3 hours.
What?
That's 180 minutes of straight licking a doorbell. KION reports that the homeowners were out of town when the licking occurred, but the children were at home. The family notified police when they found video on their home security system.
Oh my god!
Yep. I thought I've seen it all, but this takes the cake, one neighbor said. Police have identified the suspect as Roberto Daniel Arroyo, of age 33, and he is still currently at large. although he was interviewed after this occurred, right? So technically, they don't necessarily have anything to get him on. Because
Right.
technically
Yeah,
break the
like-
law, just
Right.
maybe trespassing, maybe.
He maybe.
I
I mean,
was just trying to ring the doorbell.
I was gonna say I don't think
Vandalism
misuse of a
of
doorbell,
sort.
right?
If he's carrying some kind of disease that's transferable by saliva, maybe they could get him. I don't know. I'm pulling for strings here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking the only way they're gonna the only thing they could possibly hit him with is if this was the second time and he was told the first time not to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
They could just get in a restraining order. It's still not even big after that.
Right.
Yep.
Either way, you were correct. That was creepy as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm gonna come lick your doorbell, Tim.
Right.
Go for it.
Jack.
Do you have security cameras so he can
Nope.
watch?
Nope, sure don't. Look at all you want. I ain't seeing it.
Merlin says, the taste of finger. Dracul says, what is he doing? Airnob says, and that's not a thing you tell yourself so you feel okay with not giving it to them. It's actually a thing, so yeah, better get food for them in Germany, not because they might buy liquor and cigs in the money, because they might go to a fucking half-legal syndicate that rips off homeless people. Right? Mr. Grizzly says, P.S. I work as a manager, so it's like a customer pulled a knife on the employees. People are stupid. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Dracul says that doorbell is a strange fetish. And Willis Wonder says, I lived with my parents and worked with a convenience store, so I had to break up a fight between two prostitutes, which might be close enough to homeless people. Yeah, I mean, I had a prostitute that slept on my front porch for a week. We just could not get her to go away. It was like my first apartment too. I was 16.
Just couldn't get her to leave.
Yeah. No, I would walk out every morning and just say, go away. And then she would yell at me and then I'd go to work.
Oh my God.
But like,
go away, fuck you.
yeah, I was very, I was worried that that's how life was. It was my first apartment, as a, I was like, I'd been living with my parents and they'd been doing something much better than I have. They didn't have prostitutes on their door.
Oh my dude. Oh my God.
Where was this?
Okay, 6th and Taylor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's a notoriously
Taylor,
bad area.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a notoriously bad area in our town. So
yeah.
All right. Before we head into Florida Man and Be the Change, I wanted to take a second and see if we could just talk about something that's in the gaming community and in the news community about what just happened with the Overwatch lore drop that occurred. Now, I want to say I don't give a shit about the sexuality of any of the characters in any video game, except when I'm playing my hentai simulators. That's important to me, right?
God.
But
Oh man, it's 2019. Why you gotta be like that?
right,
Come on, just be hetero flexible.
right. But the question I want to know is that had certain things not happened right before this, I would not give a single shit. But Blizzard and Activision just lost 2 C-level employees. They lost a chief technology officer and they lost a chief financial officer. In the last 2 weeks, their stocks have been dropping super fast. They're not making a lot of headway with how people are angry about them because of their recent actions with Heroes of the Storm.
I'm real
Diablo.
fucking mad about that still.
Right.
Diablo.
And
I'm livid
Diablo,
about
yeah,
odds.
Diablo.
Diablo Immortal. Don't you have
Diablo.
a cell phone, right? Like,
I'm less mad about that. But yeah.
was this action of dropping the Soldier 76 lore right now, which I'm going to say they did have a teaser to this long ago. So this was a thing that was going to happen eventually. But did they do it right now as a, oh, we're in trouble, activate the gay shield? Like,
I don't think so.
So I actually went into a thing on this on my stream last night.
Okay.
This is because whatever. I don't remember. I play Overwatch a lot, and I actually main Soldier 76.
Right.
And it's not like they changed his sexuality. They just added a way back story time of, hey, remember that guy you had a thing with? And he was like,
Right.
yeah, I do. That's pretty dope. And they were like, yeah, that's all it fucking was.
Right.
It's not a big deal. It's not activating a gay shield. And even if they did decide to drop it right now because of it, we'll never fucking know. That's for sure.
Well, what I mean is that dropping this information, they know that there's going to be idiots who think it's a big deal. Right?
Right.
There are going to be people who are mad about it and people who are going to be mad about the people who are mad about it. Was this used as a deflection from their current problems instead of a lore drop for fun, right? Which
I could totally see this used as a deflection because you know it's gonna piss some people off just because some people are stupid and this kind of thing upsets them for no reason.
Right. When I was going through change.org today, I saw a ton of absolutely brainlet petitions about people that are all like, make Dad 76 dad again. And I'm like, he can be dad and be gay. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but
yeah,
also,
I would not be surprised at all if this was brought out now specifically to try and deflect some of the heat into a different direction that doesn't actually mean anything, and they know it doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean, like I said, they hinted to a teaser at it a while back, which it
Right.
could have been something that it started out as something fun, and then they had an oh shit moment, decided they need to push the oh shit bomb,
right.
and then this is what happened. But I didn't even know about their other problems until this particular moment, so I didn't even, like, for me, the average Overwatch consumer,
Right.
I didn't even know about it. Congratulations, you brought attention to yourself, fam. Like, what?
That's a good, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, I would be interested to figure out.
Name a company that doesn't do that anyways.
Well,
right.
I'd say though that like it, I don't know, because on the one hand, it is a good way, like it is theoretically a good way to be like, well, you're just mad because we have a diverse cast. At the same time, I also know that like upper level, like your typical upper level management in a company are so fucking risk averse, and do not want that heat regardless, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's my big counter argument is like, it's the kind of thing that could backfire so hugely that I feel like it can't be the answer because they'd go, shit, this could blow up in our faces enormously. Don't fucking do it.
It's already backfiring horribly.
Oh, yeah.
But like game companies hate like, for lack of a better word, drama.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
like
Because they do try to please everybody. Yeah. That's what they want to do, is please everybody. It's why the games become so fuck you, World of Warcraft. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yep. Battle for Azeroth sucks.
Right. No, but this change in Overwatch doesn't make the game any less fun than it already was. Doesn't make it any more fun than it already was. So not a big deal. I was just interested on whether or not it seemed kind of like a distraction play to you guys at all. And the reason that I would be any concerned about that at all is that using LGBT outrage or, anything like that as a deflection shield is shifty as fuck.
So shitty, yeah.
Right.
Actually, I also don't think it is because they've also had a couple other characters in the same general vein. Like,
right.
This isn't the first time they've announced like that a character
Tracer.
was
Tracer.
Tracer.
Yeah, like that a character was not cisexual, heterosexual, or neurotypical, and like, so it's something they've done for years now.
Right. But I was
It's
just
not
wondering.
But that's my argument for it not being a deflection.
Like, for the most part, from what I've seen, from what I've been keeping up in the situation people are mainly pissy about. They're pissy about is that they're getting all this extra diversity, but they're not getting exactly what they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh, great, now we got this and we got this, but we still don't have this. And it's like, well, go fuck yourself.
Right.
Go play The Sims. You can make it. There.
Can we get an F in chat for all of the fan fiction authors that no longer can continue their stories?
You mean my dad cruise ship is alive and well? Thank you very much.
Excuse me, this is their imagination. They can do whatever they
Right.
They can gender bend,
Just
okay?
a couple of handsome men doing handsome man things.
Exactly. Mr. Grizzly says, speaking of the homeless, I had a night where after we closed, they had a homeless man sitting in the lobby. I had 3 different crew people ask him to leave, and he refused. I said, well, I can't have this, so I called the cops. Then they got him to leave the store. The next day, he wanted to talk to me about the situation. I said, hell frickin' no. I'm not about to have that awkward conversation. Sorry, keep being completely off topic. That's fine. Dracul says, I don't think that's the case. They did the same with Tracer. Airknob says, imagine a Texan accent. All right.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, none of that gay people in my games. I don't want to play with them Mexicans stealing our jobs and get me to should build a wall. Like I played Overwatch with a friend. I had like 6 hours, and he said, "Yo, soldier gay," and I said, "Weren't they all gay?" And there's that.
I love that. Weren't they all gay? Come on, Jimmy Bob.
Dracula Art says Soldier X Mercy is dead. Yep. Rip mom and dad.
Whatever. Mercy was always better anyway.
I am just. I mean, I only read Bastion.
For the record, that second post from Airknob shouldn't have been Texan.
Well, whatever. I got it.
Oh, so Udo is Are Your Bastion fix the inspiration for Clang?
Right? Yeah. All right, everybody.
So for anybody who doesn't know,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Udo as a joke wrote a fucking Android human / fic at one point called Clang the Sound of Passion, and it's amazing.
Yep. I wrote a
so
3-chapter romance novel, and I've never read a romance novel, so I just did what I assumed a romance novel was about. It's pretty good. That PDF is available for anyone who wants it. Just hit me up.
Oh my god! Send that shit to me immediately.
Right? Willis wants to know if it's on Amazon yet. I can't publish it on Amazon yet. There was I got to go through some fucking hoops to get it there, but Soldier X Winston. Yeah. I like Windsor.
Somebody say peanut butter.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I got your peanut butter right here. Get on my lawn.
Oh man.
Oh, you guys Overwatch in a whole new light.
Right?
I'll never play Winston the same again.
Airknob says, I've always just heard that people get revealed as gay or something all the time there, so I saw them all as gay. I mean, however. All right. We got a boo. Was the boo for the Soldier Winston stuff that we just created?
I'm guessing with the delay, yeah.
All right, we're gonna play Florida Man Bingo. For anybody who hasn't played before, in the chat, I have the Man in Black has just added a Bingo Baker card that you can. Okay, it was for the Get on My Lawn. Excellent. I've added a bingo card there, so you guys can play along with us. I'm gonna give you 6 rapid fire Florida man stories. Fill out the bingo card as you go. If you win, take a screenshot, send it to me at skeptalk_live on Twitter, and I will give you free points that you can use to play those sound effects like Witless Wonder has been doing all show. So it'll be fun. All right, let's do it. You guys got your cards ready?
I do.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yes.
A Florida woman became enraged and attacked her parents after they declined to take her to Outback Steakhouse, according to authorities. Deputies...
That's America.
Right? Deputies...
That's America.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Deputies with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office found a large glass dining room table flipped over and broken glass scattered throughout the entire area in the dining room when they arrived at the Lake Worth home of Deanna Seltzer on Wednesday, according to a probable cause affidavit obtained by the news. Vadim Seltzer had alerted authorities in a 911 call that his daughter was armed with a knife before the line was disconnected. She later met deputies outside the home, and she was peacefully taken into custody. Deanna Seltzer, 28, became angry after mom Ludmilla hold on. Ludmilla. Lidamilla. Yeah, Lidamilla rejected a request to the Australian-themed restaurant, according to the police. She then struck her mother with closed fists and scratched her dad on various parts of his body. In addition, she destroyed and flipped over furniture in the home that she shared with her parents and waved a 12-inch decorative knife at her father as she yelled, "I'm going to fucking kill you." The parents were described by police
Someone
as...
wants a bloomin' onion.
Right?
I was gonna say she wants some baby back ribs.
Exactly. The parents were described by police as elderly and frail, but Vadim Seltzer was able to separate the knife from his daughter as they avoided more serious injuries. She was charged with battery and battery of a person 65 and older with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, what a bitch.
I'm gonna go on record.
Can you
Outback's
imagine
not
going on
that
a
good.
date with her and like picking the wrong steakhouse?
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Her Tinder profile just says "Take me to Outback or else."
Right?
Right.
A man has been arrested after deputies say that he got into a drunken altercation over a sandwich. Pasco County Sheriff's Office deputies say that Joseph Lagana, 27, got upset after getting a sesame seed bun on a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Deputies say Lagana began arguing with the cashier, then got into a fist fight with another man who deputies say did not want to press charges for battery. When talking to Lagana, deputies say that he was being loud and argumentative with people in the flea market and Gun Highway. Deputies say that he appeared heavily intoxicated because of his slurred speech. The owner of the flea market told deputies Lagana's behavior was causing a public disturbance. He was charged with disorderly intoxication.
Nice.
But he got mad because there was a sesame seed bun, and so he got in a fight with another person, like a third person that he was involved with.
Now that's America.
Right?
That is some
Putting
American shit.
sesame seeds on my Philly cheese sandwich? Hell no!
He just starts punching people for capitalism.
I
Go ahead.
absolutely. It's so beautiful.
A professional dispute between a Sarasota County School District principal and her substitute teacher led to an arrest last month when the teacher allegedly spread human feces on all of the tables and grills of a local park where the principal was hosting a birthday party for her child later that day.
Jesus.
What the fuck? Unusual weapon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Unusual weapon. That one totally counts.
Body horror, maybe?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely poop.
So, a substitute teacher was in an argument with the school district principal, and in order to get at, Willis says child abuse, and that's totally true.
Yes, totally.
To get at the principal, the teacher went to a public, park and smeared poop over all of the benches and grills at the public park where the principal had scheduled a birthday for the principal's daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a tile for Arkham Asylum?
Right.
Got you.
I think that's just Florida.
Got you.
A witness saw the woman with light brown hair and a gray minivan come to the park at 6:30 a.m. and began putting feces on all of the tables and grills. The woman said that the woman was wearing blue gloves and a blue mask. Foster's and Carpenter's children were in the same class after Foster invited all of the daughter's classmates to the party, according to the report. including Carpenter's child. At the time, Foster was helping Carpenter with a professional issue, and Carpenter alleged that it did not go the way that she would like to have been dealing with the matter. Carpenter had then been working on as a substitute teacher in Sarasota County since October of 2017, and according to the district spokesperson, she is not currently serving as a substitute teacher while there is an active law enforcement investigation. Dracul says that was a shitty barbecue. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Question.
Right?
But also dangerous.
Very much dangerous.
Where did she get all the poop?
Yeah, was it murder?
She'd been planning
So
this
real.
or something. I don't know. It doesn't say where she got the poop. But it was
'Cause That's a
human
lot of poop.
waste.
That's
She had-
pooped up.
She's all right, everybody in the family. We're going to be pooping in a trash bag. Don't ask why.
I just understand the thought process and go through some of these people's heads.
Right? She's all
This
like,
seems like a great idea. I mean, she has the competent enough thought to get a mask and gloves, but not the thought that this is not an appropriate idea.
Right.
I'm calling it Floriditis.
right? Dracul says that she was pooping for months, waiting for this moment. Yeah, exactly. At one point, she's in the argument with the principal, and she's all like, "You know what? I'm gonna poop his kid's or her kid's birthday." Like, there was a tipping point. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
right? A Fort Pierce man is accused of breaking into a home, then undressing, as well as getting into an unknown woman's car and then pulling down his pants. Stanley Bush, 36, of the 500 block of North 25th Street, was arrested Friday, right? Was arrested Friday afternoon and faces 3 charges related to felony burglary and 1 misdemeanor charge. St. Lucies County Sheriff's offices were called in to the 100 block of North about 11:20 a.m. A woman told deputies Bush got into her car and pulled down his pants. The woman told deputies she was talking to her daughter over the phone when the incident happened, and she did not know the man. The woman then told her daughter to call the police, and Bush got out of the car and left. The woman told deputies that she described Bush's appearance to deputies when they arrived. Deputies said that they received a call shortly after in which a man matching the woman's description crashed a 2006 Honda Element through the security gate of a home in the 6400 block of West Angle Road.
What did that Honda Element do?
Well, it got him in, and that was his skeleton key, man.
I like Honda Elements.
Right? The owner of the home told deputies that she was in fear for her life. When deputies arrived, they saw Bush undressed inside the home. He was, as well as the Honda that he was driving, missing a license plate. Deputies said that the car had a sticker to an auto shop, which they called. The shop then told them the car had been stolen. Bush was arrested on charges of felony grand theft of a motor vehicle, unarmed felony burglary, felony damage of $1,000 or more, and a misdemeanor charge of resisting officers without violence. Bush was then taken to the St. Lucie County Jail, where he remained as of Monday on a $41,000 bail.
He's a winner.
Yep, this guy was on. He needed to be naked real bad. Yeah. 26-year-old California woman unleashed a tirade at a JetBlue employee in Florida International Airport on Sunday after being denied boarding because she appeared very intoxicated. She then yelled, get me out of this fucked up place, you rapists." The woman, identified by police as Sabrina Ray Thomas of San Marcos, California, was seen and heard yelling at a man in a video posted on Instagram by Dre London rappers Post Malone's manager. I did, yeah. So Post Malone's manager caught this lady on video going crazy. She then yelled, "I have a fucking gun on me because I'm homeless." She continued. According to an incident report obtained by the Post, a sheriff's deputy responded to the Terminal 3 at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Thomas was screaming at the help desk representative and jumping on the desk counter because she delayed as she missed her flight. The deputy accosted Thomas when the deputy accosted Thomas, she threw a duffel bag that she was carrying at a wall and threw her passport to the ground. She then threw a boarding pass at the officers that she had ripped into several pieces. The deputy then placed the woman's hand behind her back, then ordered her to get on the ground, but she ignored his commands, so he cuffed her and continued to she hurled profanities. According to the supplemental police report, Thomas, who is white, screamed, "I'm racist against white people. I fucking hate white cops." The gate agent then told police that she had noticed that Thomas didn't look right and asked her if she had been drinking or was on any medication. She said she was okay and denied being either intoxicated or medicated, and that the agent should go fuck themselves.
God, it's like Rick and Morty.
Right? He had her wait for about 5 minutes as he boarded other passengers and then checked on Thomas to see if she was ready to fly, but police say that she started to yell, "I hate white people. White people raped me." At one point, she also screamed, "I hate white police officers." Another sheriff's deputy wrote in his report that Thomas appeared delusional and mentally unstable. She then displayed erratic mood swings, which went from crying to silent to very loud to aggressive without warning. I think that the rest of this just goes into stuff about like safety, but that doesn't actually like wrap up what happened to her. Oh wait, here it is. Finally, Thomas was taken to Broward County Hospital under the state's Baker Act, which allows involuntary institutionalization and examination of a person. She was then, the airline had decided to deny boarding to the customer for indications of intoxication. The flight departed without further incident, and crew members later requested assistance from local law enforcement after the customer became disruptive at the airport. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so this lady never made it on that plane.
Right.
Yep.
I do have one
willing
follow-up.
to give her the opportunity to fly for a minute there. They were
Right.
still like, "All right, bitch. All right, just calm the fuck down. You ready to fly?" No, okay.
Right.
Yep. They're like,
So
"Let's
I-
Done with your shit.
I do have one follow-up question. And
Right.
it's a strange question considering it has very, very, very little to do with the story. But what is Post Malone's manager doing flying JetBlue?
I think he might have just been in the airport.
Yeah, all different types of companies, the same airport.
Yeah. And then he just heard some screeching and he was all like, "I gotta go get this on camera."
Well, see, if you look at the picture of her, and if you look at the guy in the back, there's another guy in the very back. He's also recording.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
the guy in
and there's a lady back there too with her phone up at the top left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's definitely some...
Yep.
That-
Post this on Instagram.
the moment you go crazy in public, it is immortalized forever.
I love it.
Right? All right, our final Florida man story. Deputies say that a man had 3 syringes in his rectum while being searched at the Pinellas County Jail. When Wesley Scott, 40, pulled the syringes from his rectum, deputies say that Scott told them that they were not his and he did not know how they got there. Scott has been arrested on warrant charges for previous drug charges. Deputies say he's now facing additional charge of introducing processing contraband into a county detention facility.
Whale.
Did it say what type of drug?
Nope, just syringes.
Wait.
It's either heroin or meth.
Right.
Oh, what if they were empty?
You know,
I don't know
and
why
it
the
is.
fuck you do that, but
It was contraband. It may not have been
Yeah,
drugs.
they were
You sure
just
it wasn't
empty
crack?
syringes.
Yep, it was not crack. It was just
Yeah.
If it was
contraband.
crack, I have a bingo.
Yep. It specifically says contraband, so it was not an illegal
It was
substance.
just syringes.
Yep.
That's how I spell crack.
Right. All right.
But it was in his butt crack. Yeah.
I guess, you know what? That's clever. That's clever, sir. Mr. Grizzly says that sounds like those that when I swear I just fell and it slipped in. Right.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
It's time to be the change. For those of you who haven't seen this section before, I am about to take you on a trip through the website change.org, where people go. If you go to change.org, you will see a bunch of petitions. And these petitions will be things that are supposed to, be making some real change in the world. And some of these things have thousands of signatures, sometimes hundreds of thousands of signatures, but not if you click the recent tab. If you click the recent tab, you will see the nonsense that people use this website to attempt to accomplish. Our first petition tonight is my petition. We're trying to see if we can get to 100 votes on a petition. Last time we tried to do this, after 10 months, we got to 90, and they closed our petition, which was so fucking close.
Free Skep Talk.
Exactly. So we're trying to see what happens when you get to 100, because at the top it says, let's get to 100, and I want to know what happens. So that's the entire point of our petition here, and we're going to see what we can do. But here is some stuff that other people think is important. Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure I... Paste? Maybe? Hold on. It's not pasting. Maybe... There we go. This is a petition to break Florida off of the mainland U.S. Ye boy.
That's definitely how geography works.
Right? Ye boy has started this petition to President Donald J. Trump. And the reason for this petition is that basically Florida is the worst and we should just break it off mainland U.S.
They're trying to sabotage Skep Talk.
Right? Yep. That's like a whole fucking, eighth of my show. We're going to have to rely on Alabama a lot harder.
I'm sure Alabama will pull through.
And take over.
Right? All right. So that's a simple one. And then it moves on to things like this. This is another, this is from James Arneson, also to President Donald J. Trump, which is to make school go away. 25 people have signed this. And it simply states that school sucks and no one likes it.
How much do you want to bet those 25 people all follow Ninja on Twitch?
Oh,
right.
It's possible. It's very, very strong possibility.
I am going to point out there's no actual petition here. There's no we should do a thing and vote to do the thing. This is just agreeing that school sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'll agree to that. School sucks.
Yeah.
But I
Never
mean,
again.
Yeah, I don't think I want to go back to school. I don't know. I might go back to preschool. That might be fun.
Yeah.
Naps.
Or kindergarten. Naps and then just coloring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Naps and coloring sounds good. Our next one is to merge Virginia and West Virginia to make Mega Virgin. And the reason Jackson Lee has sent this to Donald Trump so that
goodness, that's so amazing.
The Fortnite fan base could get a state named after them. Mega
Holy
Virgin.
shit, I'll sign that.
I'm gonna sign that right now. I just signed that.
Right? Wally, were you around for the one time that I did the other Fortnite one where to make 3 or more Fortnite players together, or wait, 3 or more 9-year-olds in the same room to be classified as a Fortnite, a Fortnite of 9-year-olds? Because if cows are a herd,
you have a flock of crows and a herd of cows, and you have a fortnight of 9-year-olds.
Right?
A fortnight of screaming children.
Literally every squad on Fortnite.
Right?
Yep.
Draggle says that country roads. Mega Virgin, take me home. I think it still works. I think it still works.
Oh my god.
It's still
Dracul Art says lol. All right.
man.
So our next one that we've got here, this one is to get, oh yeah, never mind, that's I grabbed the wrong one here.
No, you didn't. Dragons were real.
Right, but I mean that's the next one. This one this
shit.
one is for Uranus to be pronounced as your anus. Owen Smith is sending it to you guys if you sign. I hate those bitches that tell me Uranus isn't pronounced your anus, so I basically want that to stop.
I don't know what the fuck they're talking about where I'm from. It's pronounced Uranus.
Right?
Yeah. Your anus.
Exactly.
TTV the Tango, welcome to the show. Yeah, the petition here is to have everyone pronounce it as your anus and not Uranus. Which, I mean, I'm saying Uranus in order to try and differentiate between your
Just
anus.
for contrast.
Right. If I were to say Uranus, it wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah, I don't have two of those. I'm not a wizard.
I just missed that announcement. Who was at that follow? Did you guys
Merlin.
see? Merlin?
Merlin.
Thank you very much for that follow. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
I did notice that it's the only thing that's negative about the using the Streamlabs chatbot is that I don't see who followed.
Right.
Which I can solve that, but I'll solve it off screen later. Mr. Grizzly says I've always pronounced it your anus. The fuck? I mean, people who don't want to say your anus, right? Try to say Uranus, which
Butts.
I'm fine.
It's a butt. It's
Right.
another word for a butt.
And then we've also got a petition that dragons were real. John Schultz has started this petition to I want the world to acknowledge the fact that dragons were not a myth. You're telling me right now that dinosaurs were real, but dragons weren't. Don't be a sheep. Be woke. 7 people have signed a petition to confirm that dragons were in fact real. Brendan Price says, I love Josh. I'd do anything for him and will always support him. Damn.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. Josh has got
Don't even
bros.
believe him. Just
That's pretty
signing
awesome.
a petition for his bro.
Right?
I don't know what good that helps the petition other than spreading false information, but aw.
Right?
Let's assume.
Exactly. Oh, I should hit that guy up, see if he'll be on my show. And then finally, we have one last petition here, which is to Donald J. Trump by Bon Bon to get the Constitution rewritten from the point of view of Shrek. And it says,
Get out of my swamp!
it's like, this is not your swamp. Trump, come on, man. Let's admit it. Our Constitution, whack. But we can fix that. You know how. Freaking Shrek.
For the record, my wife loves Shrek. I just sent that to her.
What were you saying, Lolly?
I don't even know. I mean, Shrek has the most self-confidence of anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Right?
Very much true. Very much true. This could be Shrek's swamp.
Good.
President Shrek?
President,
United States
I mean,
Shrek swamp.
it's not much different. The tone's off just by a little bit of a color, but
Yeah,
Like-
you can go from green to orange. Really simple.
yeah.
From orange to green. Really simple.
All right, Lolly, how was your first time on the show? How'd you like that?
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I liked it.
I was very, very happy to have you here. I've been ever since you were like, oh man, I gotta go get that emote. I was like, oh, I gotta have Lolly on the show. That'll be fun.
The Illuminati will find me and they will offer me a spot. It will happen.
Right. Oh, did I tell you that they found me and that they threatened
Oh,
me?
they found me. Remember?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you get the same message?
Was it about a person who said that don't use their imagery and that you're copying them?
Oh no.
Yeah, I got told that I was faking the funk and that I
Yep.
yeah, and that I needed to knock it off because what I was doing was illegal.
They message
Well,
you
illegal
back,
in terms
tell
of
me-
Illuminati law.
They message you back, just be like, well, you know what? Tell Katy Perry, tell me this,
Right.
and it's fine.
Right. But no, it's because this one person who decided that because they had bought a $20 necklace off a website once that they were actually part of the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow.
I have joined that website so that I can buy those necklaces too if I ever need one. If I ever really need to, like prove that some shit's going down, I'll quickly order a $20 necklace.
What about your
Hells
Illuminati necklace?
yes.
Damn, son.
Oh, Andrew Wilson, thank you very much for that subscription. I appreciate that super duper much.
It's
You a
Andrew
killer.
Wilson.
Yeah, well, Andrew
ends.
Wilson. All right, Dr. Tom, how was your return? How did you
It's good to be back.
Yeah?
I love doing this. Yeah.
We missed you. I mean, I understand that everybody needs to take Christmas break when a Christmas break needs to be taken, but we definitely we missed your expertise on the show. There were several times that I had medical questions and was just lost. So,
Yep. We needed a wholesome dad.
God damn it.
Lolly, in case you
Not
didn't
a
know,
fucking medical doctor.
he's a doctor of nuclear engineering. So,
Oh, that is dope.
yeah.
It's fun. I love my work.
But I ask him for medical advice because he's a doctor. So
I hate you.
he's the one who can
My
prescribe
medical
us.
advice is
Go ahead.
quit eating so much meat.
Rash, can you look at him?
No, he can start prescribing us all of the stuff we need for our 6-hour erections. So
Yeah.
right.
Perfect.
Yeah, if you
Oh.
could prescribe me some
I just
power
imagine that
SX.
phone call like 4 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you know that energy drink that we covered?
Right.
I wanted to try. I ordered it. I'm sorry. What do I do? Yeah?
Right.
Okay.
Tom, what do I do now, Tom? It's been 5 hours. What do I do?
I'll give you the good stuff for the 8-hour erection.
Right. All right. Well, we're gonna find somebody to raid here real quick. Let's look to see if we've got any friends or fams or anybody online.
Also, Andrew Wilson, I hate you and your stupid matter puns.
Do you guys want to?
You're not
go,
allowed to hate people for puns.
That's true.
Do you guys want to see a very nice person who does tarot readings?
Hell yeah.
Her name is Psychic I Am.
Oh yeah, I haven't been doing her streams yet.
Yeah, she's super fun. She's super nice. She is absolutely just an adorable woman. It's super fun. Be nice. If you think it's all hoobajoob, it's still fun to watch. Right? It's the
Right.
So yeah. We're gonna rate her. We'll figure out how's going on. She's dropped by the stream here. She's watched our nonsense a couple of times. So I think we'll return the favor.
Hell yeah.
Let's see here. Raid. I gotta make sure I spell her name correctly because I could fuck that up real good.
That'd
And
be
we could end up somewhere weird.
Weird side of Twitch.
Exactly. I've been there. I once watched this amazing reverse troll thought. It was so funny. So she was in Just Chatting. It used to be IRL, right? Back when it was just IRL, right? And she was sitting around in a towel, right? Like in a full towel, and it looked like she was naked underneath the towel, and people were like, there was a stream goal of like $200 that she would drop the towel if it got there, and these thirsty ass bastards were just fucking losing it. Like they're just all like finding every $5 they could to throw at her. And when it happened, she threw it off, and she's wearing a full dress underneath it. Like,
Right?
it was so good. And she just started losing her shit, and I fucking died. Like, I was just all like, these guys are so pissed. Like, I'm watching this chat just implode on
Did you-
themselves.
Like follow her? That's genius.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody, we're gonna go raid Psychic IM, and we're gonna see what's up there. Everybody, say hi for me. I'll be over there as soon as I go use the restroom. So, once again, Lolly, thank you very much for joining us, and Tom and Tim, as always, y'all are awesome.
Truth.
All right, chat. We'll see you guys next time on episode number 99 on Skep Ball Z. All right, I've hit the raid button. We are no